Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talk About, the show where I talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. And today I want to talk about Concord. When it comes to Concord, I think we all know what it is everyone's talking about. And it's the fact that this game peaked at less than 700 players on Steam. Of course, we don't have PlayStation numbers in that way. They don't track it the same way that SteamDB does. SteamDB. But based on everything we know, it probably isn't faring much better on PlayStation. And full disclosure, I did not buy Concord. Not because of any of those weird reasons people are making up. I decided not to get this game, despite hearing all of the good things about it from the people who are actually playing it. I didn't buy it because I don't really want to spend $40 on a game that might not be alive come the end of the year, maybe even the end of the month, given the player count that it has seen so far. But that's what I wanted to talk about today. Not necessarily what went wrong. Everyone else is already doing that. I just wanted to talk more so about what is this game's actual realistic longevity and what can they do to prolong it and maybe survive longer than the next 3 months. Based on the people who are actually actively playing this game, it's a lot of fun. But given the current state of the market with games like Overwatch, Marvel Rivals coming out around the corner, having a closed alpha, and with Call of Duty Black Ops having their beta this weekend, it's just the market for first person shooters is very crowded, and in a lot of cases, similar experiences can be had for free. So Concord coming out now when it did was probably the worst thing for it, especially with a game like Black Myth Wukong just coming out of seemingly nowhere and just dominating the Steam charts and dominating the conversation in terms of what game everyone is playing. Concord just had no chance. Picking this release date was its biggest mistake, I think. Because for me personally, I would have paid $40 for this game. But I just, like I said, feel like no one's going to be around to support it. So what would those $40 go to? But yeah, in terms of this game's longevity, we currently know that this game has at least said that it's going to have 2 seasons confirmed so far. Of course, if no one's playing the game, it's very well subject to change. But we have season 1 in October, which says, I'll read it off here. Season 1 comes with a new free gunner, new map, new variants, new quality of life updates, new cosmetics and rewards, and new vignettes, which of course is their story cutscenes that they have throughout the game and supposedly are happening weekly. Of course, no one's playing the game, so no one really can confirm or deny those things, but it sounds cool. Wouldn't know. And season 2 in January, which has more of the same. I feel like this game is at least going to make it to season 2 because it's already laid out on the roadmap. And if you guys paid attention during Gamescom opening night live, there was the trailer for Next Level, the Amazon Prime show that is made by the creators of Love, Death, and Robots, I think is what it's called. The Netflix cyberpunk anthology show on Netflix. I think I said Netflix twice there, which is basically an anthology show of different video games, which include Mega Man, which looks dope as hell, by the way. Pac-Man is in there, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds is in there, Warhammer's in there. They got Kratos and Ghost of Tsushima in there. And they have a super cool looking Sifu episode in there. And there's also a Concord episode. So Concord at the very least, maybe it doesn't get to season 2, but I do feel like this game is at least going to make it through the end of the year because of that one episode of Secret Level that is based on Concord, which seems weird because Concord is supposed to have weekly vignettes of their own, which are these short cutscenes. So I don't know if that episode of Secret Level is going to be like a 30-minute version of that, or who knows? Who knows? But all I know is that Concord at least has to survive till then. Otherwise, it's going to be really awkward for a lot of people if there's a Concord episode and that game doesn't exist. Best case scenario for Concord is that that episode of Secret Level is released and at least 10 people play Concord afterwards. I feel like at least some people are going to play Concord after seeing that episode of Secret Level because let's face it, leading into Concord's release, there was next to no marketing. I didn't see a single ad for this game anywhere. It's weird. It was really weird. Like when people said it was out, I almost didn't believe them. There's no fanfare for this release whatsoever. And it just seems like Sony is leaving it out to die. But there's already an episode of Secret Level that's going to be about Concord. So yeah, it's a really weird thing for this game that no one is playing. Based on the numbers we have right now, it's not even a guarantee that it makes it to season 1 in October, let alone December with this episode of Secret Level. So who knows? I feel like they have to at least let it go until December. But when you get to December, you run into another little road bump, and that little road bump, it's not that little actually. It's Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals releases officially this December. So even if this episode of Secret Level is like the best episode, the standout of the entire show, people are going to be busy playing the free to play hero shooter with heroes they actually know and love already, and not, brand new characters they've never met before. Unless that episode of Secret Level does a lot of heavy lifting, I don't see Concord surviving past 6 months max. Because what is that? Between now and December, we're just gonna round up and say it's 3 months. What is that? September, October, November, December. Four months. Okay. To the end of the year, that's 4 months. I don't think it's gonna be past February. And that's being optimistic. Unless this episode of Secret Level is the best episode of anything you've ever seen and is winning primetime Emmys and all of that shenanigans. Yeah, I don't think Concord's long for this world. Of course, there are things they could do between now and then to boost player counts, including going free to play. You know, that wouldn't hurt. That would only help. The only issue with going free to play is that there are already tens of people who paid $40 for that game. So I don't know how they would compensate them, because this game is very gung ho about not having battle passes and not being microtransaction heavy. So to fundamentally change this game in order to get more players, I don't know how that would work for them. And I just don't know if they're going to be given enough time to work out how to reframe this game's progression systems and how this game makes its money. So it's not looking good for Concord there. I know not a lot of people were expecting much from it, but it looked cool. Every time I see someone playing it, I watch some streams every now and then, and I'm like, that looks like fun, but will people be playing it by next week? That's what I don't know. And that's why I don't want to spend the $40 on what might not be here any day. It could literally go away any day. And I don't know if anyone would care. And that's really depressing to say out loud. But it's the truth. It is where Concord finds itself. I do hope beyond hopes, because I do enjoy games. And this is a new game, a new IP. Like, they could have done so many things to revive older franchises or anything like that. But they made a new thing. People made this game. And it might not be what people want, but people still poured their hearts out making it. And I hope beyond hope it finds an audience, but being realistic, doesn't seem like it will. And that's a pretty dour note to leave this on, but that's the story of Concord. What can I say? The last ditch effort they could make is, this game is on PlayStation 5. And we don't know the numbers for sure there, but we know the numbers for sure on Steam, and they aren't good. The last ditch effort they could do is port this game to Xbox. Just to hope that they get a wider audience. Not necessarily for any like monetary gain or anything like that, because they need the numbers. I'm not saying that Xbox players are going to come out in droves to support Concord, but just having another platform available for this game to potentially thrive on would go a long way into helping with its longevity. Giving more people access to it would only help it in the long run. But again, it's not looking good. But yeah, so that's the episode. Sorry to leave you on such a dour note. But yeah. If you're playing Concord, let me know. If one person tells me that they're playing Concord in the comments below, I will buy Concord and I will play it. I'm sure if we go into matchmaking, we'll run into each other because it's a really small pool. But yeah, that's it. And as always, until next time, stay safe and play some video games.